Alright, welcome to the Google Plus community. I'm going to cover some basic things to help you move around and keep track of what's going on in the community. Google changes this every now and then, so I wouldn't be surprised if this is out of date shortly, but in the meantime, this should help you out. So, now the community is getting a bunch of posts, and it gets kind of hard to track what's going on, especially if you want to reply to each other and things like that. So what I recommend is when you see a new post, after reading it, then +1 that post. I know in Facebook and Twitter and other places that typically means I like something, but what's nice about Google Plus is since it's got that nice red icon, then you can use it and we can kind of cheat and hack and mean, okay, that's something I've read, I'm aware that I'm done with that, kind of like a mark as read icon, okay? So then I can scroll down here and see, oh, here's a video I need to go and watch now, right? So it makes it very easy for you to just scan through and see if there's stuff that you missed. Also, as new stuff appears at the top, then you just look down to where the, just review each post until, you start seeing those red +1s. So that's one thing I wanted to call out. The other thing that's worth calling out is that I mentioned this in another blurb, but you can kind of narrow the view and it'll reflow so it's in chronological order instead of bouncing back and forth in the 2 or 3 column layout, right? So that's something very handy, but you can get by without it if you're using the red +1 approach. Okay, the next thing to keep in mind is as we're working in the community, you're not going to get graded on anything until February 1st. So we've got 2 weeks of doing stuff. However, that February 1st goal is going to reflect on all the work that you've done to this point. And so let me show you what this what the score is. Let's see if we can pull this up here. Okay, so here's what I'm going to be grading you on is if the student interacted professionally with the instructor via questions, expositions, and other types of interactions. That just means post to the class community and comment back, and I'll grade that based on that. And +1 counts as interaction. I know it's going to be like kind of basic, but if I see that you've read my post and +1'd them, then I'm going to take that as, okay, he's interacting, right? That's good enough. The student was observed interacting professionally and helpful with their teams and other teams, so that's commenting and answering other student stuff. You'll get into teams by that point when I grade this. You supported the team by teaching, advising, performing work outside of team meetings. This is to make sure that when you get assignments or you make assignments or if you find new things that you share and kind of help build up that way instead of just always being a gopher and only following directions. Kind of go up above and beyond and help each other. Student exhibits self-reflection and metacognition in the work produced and in team and instructor interactions. It's kind of a weird term, but self-reflection means you're kind of looking at it, you're kind of applying it to yourself. And metacognition is kind of like, you can think of it as the spiritual aspect. A good way to apply it is if you're working with DOM interactions in JavaScript and as you write about it, you say, oh, I really like how this works, or this was interesting to me, or this confused me. And so see how it's kind of that self-reflection. You're saying how you apply it yourself and how you're learning from it or applying it beyond that. So I mean, really, you can solve that by just posting questions and answering questions and posting opinions and reading articles and saying what you thought about that article. Lastly, the student completed all the introductory assignments, and so this is your elevator pitch, your introduction, and things like that. And so get those done so I can grade those and get them done quick so you can comment on each other's stuff. All right, so that's it. That's mainly what I wanted to demonstrate in the class community to help you navigate around. One other thing I want to call out is you have your weekly reflections journal, right? And so there's actually 2 things there. You've got your weekly reflections, which is posting to outcome A, B, or C, solving complex problems, evaluating resources, or teamwork. So you're going to post to that once a week, and then you're also going to record your own journal of your thoughts of what's going on in the class and things like that. And I really encourage, those are 2 separate posts, 2 separate recordings, because the outcome posting is for the class to read and comment on each other and kind of learn from each other, right? And then your personal journal, you're going to be building up those entries until the end of the class when you're going to write say a 2 or 3 page report talking about what you've learned and what's grown and what kind of helped you. And what's going to happen is you're going to be different by the end of the class, and so that's why it's good to record these as you go along. But these can, these are going to be private because only you'll see them, and then at the end when you post your summary, you'll I'll see them, right? So that way, kind of, you can go wild. You can talk about everything you learned, setbacks, things like that. Typically we don't like to broadcast those kind of things, so record those in your private journal. Okay, so that's what those two different things are. And be sure to post, maybe round robin, go to different outcomes. Don't always stick to the same outcome category. Okay. All right. Thanks. I'll see you around in class.